What is up, everybody? I am Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. It is Monday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in lovely Florida, where we have had not lovely weather at all. It's been actually really crappy all weekend, but it's Florida. It'll be like 95 degrees, I'm sure, by tomorrow. Bitcoin's kind of going sideways. Not much has been happening. I recorded a news video this morning, which will be out at some point after the stream, and that should be pretty sweet. Talked a lot about Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, and his shitty opinions on Bitcoin. I tell you, man, the more these old crusty dinosaur white guys talk shit about Bitcoin, the more I just want to hug it and hold it dear into eternity and hold it forever to spite them when they die old and poor with their useless, crappy, disgusting dollars. Before we get started, I got to ask you guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and hit the like button. Oh, sorry. Smash the like button. Super Smash Bros. That like button. God, why do old dudes in control just hate Bitcoin so much? Oh, because it's a threat. It's a threat. It's the classic, like, do what they do, not what they say thing. You remember when Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, kept saying that, like, Bitcoin was a scam and it was garbage, and that he was going to fire any employee who even dared trade it. Meanwhile, you found out they were creating JP Morgan coin, and now JP Morgan is like all in on Bitcoin. Please, nobody is listening to the bullshit from these old bastards. Man. Yeah, I would love to say I'm always like, they don't get it. They just don't get it, but they totally get it. That's the problem. They get it, and that's like even scarier, whatever. So anyways, the idea here today is that I just have a whole bunch of charts that I randomly pulled up, and we're going to search for some different trades. And it's going to be great. Let's talk about positive stuff, Scott. I'm talking about positive stuff. I'm a very positive person. I want to talk about positive stuff. Just looking at your, does Litecoin make you lit? We can talk about Litecoin. Litecoin looks like the beaten redheaded stepchild of major coins. It looks like complete shit, which means it'll probably go up like huge the minute after I say that, but it would be hard to look worse than the Litecoin chart. I'm not going to just start taking all your requests. So and I actually would like to have some engagement with you guys, but it's really hard when 9,000 comments go by in a second. What are your thoughts on NFTs? Before we dive into charts, we can talk about that a little bit. I mean, I'm very bullish on NFTs. I think the art side of it is approaching bubble territory. $69 million seems like a lot of money for an NFT, just saying. $2.5 million seems like a lot of money for a picture of a tweet. But NFTs in general, I think is just very much in the beginning. I actually had a call today with a couple of NBA agents, some of the biggest NBA athletes, and they're just starting to hear about it and think about it. And I think that there's some real potential there. I just tell you, NFTs are not going anywhere. Some of you investing in waifus and doo-doos and peepees and crap faces and whatever the hell else people seem to think, punks. Yeah, most of those people are probably going to lose quite a bit of money. Maybe not. I don't know. Can't tell you what the future is, but I can tell you that the future of non-fungible tokens is extremely bright. Yeah, this true utility of NFT just hasn't been realized. That's absolutely true. And this is what I was saying to these guys. They were like, hey, man, we saw Patrick Mahomes do that crazy release, and we want to, whatever. And they get it. They capitalize it. But I had to explain to them, the true utility of non-fungible tokens is for boring things like the deed for your car, right? Like, why do I need a third party? Why do I have to go call the auto tag agency to get a copy of my own car title? Why can't I just have it as an NFT and send it to you, and then we know who the owner is, and we don't need a centralized authority for that? Anything that eliminates that third party, the toll collectors, the tax collectors in between all of our transactions, that's the true future of NFTs, in my humble opinion. right? So anyways, I'm going to just dive into some charts. Just talk about some charts. Gotta share some things. Well, first of all, let me see. I got to get my screens right. Huh? Wolf Den newsletter. Join it. Join it. My Wednesday streams are requests from subscribers. Mondays are an absolute free for all. But this goes out every day. You should join it. That's it. You can read about it in the description. That's all. Okay, Bitcoin. First, I want to talk about something just that bothers me, that I noticed a lot of on Twitter. Okay, we have this candle right here. Okay. I got all these comments about the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart, Bitcoin. This candle is so bullish. It's a hammer. It's amazing. First of all, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Let me just put that out there as that's the premise. I don't care about this candle. But it brings back a point that I talk about all the time when I'm trying to teach people about trading. And that's that context matters, placement matters. That is not a bullish candle in this context. That's a bullish candle at the bottom when it's a hammer like that. If you see this here, you see it here, something like it. There's not one there. There's one here, right? Those are bottoming candles. They're bullish. When it's at the top, it's actually called a hanging man. And while it's counterintuitive somewhat, because you say, hey, look, bears tried to push it down, bulls pushed it back up. It's great. What it's viewed as a signal of is actually that there's exhaustion of buying. Bulls started here, right? They tried to push price up, failed. Price came all the way down. They were able to recover a little, but not even back to where the week started. So this can be an early indication of a trend reversal. Doesn't mean it's going to be. One candle alone means nothing, by the way. But it could be an early sign that bears are stepping in and that bulls were not able to advance price. For hanging man, and you could see it down. We had one right here. I don't like how long the wick is, but conceptually the same, right? And we saw a drop for a couple candles. Not worried about it. Just telling you, it's not a bullish candle. Just because it has a long down wick does not mean it's bullish. That's not the case when you're at the top. Okay. But in general, this weekly chart looks exceptionally good. And you know my thoughts on the monthly chart, right? Like, it's one of the most bullish charts you could ever hope to see, ever. Okay. Now let's look at the 4-hour chart, because this is what I predominantly think is happening. And I posted this yesterday, and look where this last 4-hour candle within the last 2 hours dropped down right to support. So I think this is really strong. Now, if you have a bull pennant, you pull the flagpole. I would start it here because I think this was a sizable enough drop to not count the flagpole from here. This is basically all up, right? Because this is a lower low here. So I don't think that this is part of the move. So I pull it from here. So your target of this, it depends on where it breaks out. But, this is how we're starting to talk about 74,000, something like that. Sure. Why not? Why not? 74,000 is jack shit from here. Nothing. It's not even 50%. Bitcoin does 50% in its sleep. It eats it for breakfast. It eats pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? Shooter. It's Happy Gilmore. But don't be surprised if this happens. This is what happens to a lot of bull pennants. A pennant is a triangle. Don't be surprised if this happens. If it breaks support, wow, that's a nice flag. Look at that, how the EQ has been. It's incredible when you pull these channels and you find out. But don't be surprised if it comes down to like 50,000 and you all freak out. And here's demand, right? So if it drops, it comes back down here, boom, fills out this flag and skyrockets, it's still bullish, right? So don't be surprised if that support breaks. What matters at this point is this top line breaking. Regardless of what forms below, this is the resistance, right? I still think we look pretty good. And we're just ranging. That's it. We're ranging. Super boring coin. Nobody even wants to look at that. This is ETH, Bitcoin. Holding the support, there's not a double bottom unless it breaks that line. That's why those are there. But we're getting pretty close to this line. And what's amazing about descending resistance that people don't realize, if you hit resistance and it goes down, and you're like, oh, I'm super sad, but it's really just giving you a better entry when it finally breaks, right? If it had broken up here, you would have had to enter at 0.0332. Now you're looking at 0.0312. Not a big difference, less than 10%, but you get the idea. So I have an alarm on that. I'm waiting for a break of this line for Ethereum to really start to show some balls, but it still looks great on the USD pair. Anything above 1419 was good in my eyes, as you may know. I haven't even zoomed in on this chart. This is the daily, I guess, but yeah, not much doing. Head and shoulders, bro. No, you can't have it head and shoulders at the bottom. You would have an inverse head and shoulders. Don't say it. I've heard it. I've seen it on Twitter. Ignore. Coming back over to the comments for a brief. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. You are presently. Oh, you're asking from Periscope. That's funny because I was like, we're on a YouTube. Yes, I have a YouTube channel / Scott Melker. I was about to say something funny, but he's not on YouTube. So I'm sorry about that. Why is what spread so high, Miss Georgia? Gotta be more specific when you ask questions. Yeah, well, this was never an issue, how setting alarms. Now it just gives me that warning, but it still works the same. When it hits the line, it breaks it, right? Yeah, I was about to troll that dude, and I would have been playing myself. Don't play yourself, right? Yeah. Well, Coinbase, first of all, life hack. Coinbase sucks. That's your first life hack. But if you're in New York or something and have no other option, I use Voyager and it does have a spread, but no fees. Coinbase has both. But if you're buying on Coinbase, you have the spread. If you buy on Coinbase Pro, which has an order book, you have lower fees and no spread. So you should go to pro.coinbase if you're going to trade on Coinbase and put in a maker order, put in a limit order instead of being the taker, and you will pay a significantly lower fee. This guy just asked for like every coin that he's ever owned. Sure, Jim. No, sorry. I will do some things. But yeah, wouldn't bull flag invalidate over long-term bull support? I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what that means. Would love to know. I'm going to go through a few more charts I have pulled up here, and then I'll come back and try to figure out what you guys are talking about. Oh, I posted this in the newsletter today. E-gold finally breaking out. Right? So maybe if you catch a retest of this as support, bang. Otherwise, I would want to be over 226.08. So you're looking for either, here now or here on one of these. You might get both. But against Bitcoin, that's a pretty clean breakout of a major resistance. And I mean, you can see how key this line is, right? You have all this price action here held above, below. So, I mean, maybe if you're trying to play it safe, this is the one you want at this point. And if you didn't buy a breakout or you don't want to buy a retest. But I think this chart looks really, really good. Really good. Maybe, kind of had that little flag there. For zooming in, I don't need to zoom into the 1 hour. That's too much. Get rid of this now. It's irrelevant. But we clearly have low, high, higher, low, higher, high. So if this puts it a higher low, then we should have a new trend starting up. It might even be a channel, although I have a feeling it's more of a wedge at this point. Doing something like this. And look, if that's what this channel is, as I always say, I know I come back to the same points, but when that EQ, this line, the equilibrium, comes in as strong support and resistance over and over again, it kind of confirms your channel. And this is flipping the top half and holding right there. So I think that's going to keep heading up. Right. I actually was not looking at Ocean as a trade, and this was open when I opened my computer, and it happened to be sitting on this. I don't love it as much because we had this above it and this below. But if you were looking at that line, which we were, it is tapping it as support there. So I'm not trading it. I want to be above this. This is the savage bearish SFP. Look, you have the swing high, which happens to be the all-time high, right? Crazy liquidity above it. 2 candles on the 4 hour tried to close above, failed, trying to get it even closer, and then the drop. Sellers are really active right there. So you want to close a candle above that, clear out these orders, and take that as support. So I would rather buy this at 168 with confirmation than buy it down here at 156 and see it dribble back down. It's just me. Maybe you like risking your money more. I literally just opened a bunch of charts to see what's happening. BNB looks like it's finally moving a little, but this is just a big ass range. Home on the big ass range. Just give me a home where the buffaloes roam and the skies are not cloudy all day. In Malta, where BNB is, Binance. Low, high, higher, low. Now this just made a higher high. So this could be locally starting another little bullish trend. So I like it above 47, 47, 4. 47, 47, 47, 47, 47, 47, 47, 47. Like an auctioneer. But, you know, I'm not that interested in it here, to be honest. This is still, if you really want to get, let's see what happens if we pull this. Because this is your more interesting. That's really what you need to break, I think. You want to be above that. That's it. I can't believe I'm sharing this. I shared it in the newsletter. Figure they've got ample time and my statute of limitations is up, but XRP looks good. It hurt me just to say it out loud. I'm not trading it because I know they're going to just dump on you like this. Oh, look, it's so bullish. Ooh, XRP, send XRP Treasury, send 7 billion coins to Coinbase. Right. All the big volume candles in the history of XRP are red. It's just the way it is. But this is a very clean breakout and retest. And it's now breaking horizontal resistance too. XRP looks good. Dare I say it's rippling. I'm going to mute you so I can drink coffee. Back, baby. I like Ethereum long term. I love it. I'm a mega Ethereum bull. Vitalik Buterin, bull. Decentralized finance, bull. I don't know how to turn this comment off now. It's way up here. Holy God. Way up there. I don't want to look at ADA again. I've looked at it so many times. Sorry. Okay. Someone's doing that thing where they request, guys, stop spamming. Stop spamming the chat. Okay, so that looks good. Now let's talk about a chart that doesn't look good. Because I can't. Litecoin. The hottest trash in the trash pile. What is this? Okay, maybe it'll break back above. Maybe it has a little bullishness today, increasing volume and buying. But this has broken every support you can find. It broke the range. I mean, on Binance, it's an all-time low, basically. I don't count those fake candles. This is trashy. Probably will reverse. Let's see if there's a bull div. That would give us some hope, right? Right, kids? Oh, hey, there is a slight bullish divergence there and a bigger one from here. A bit torn here. This could be it for Litecoin. That could have just bottomed. Sometimes the trashiest trash is, one man's trash is another man's treasure. This might be a treasure here. That's clearly a higher low. And that as well appears to be a higher low with lower lows on price. Yeah. If you're a divergence trader, let's see what the 4-hour has. A huge divergence. Coming out of oversold. Although that's over way too far to really count. Let's be honest. Even has it on the weekly. Holy shnikes. Not confirmed yet, but there to there, there to there. I mean, you can see that last pop in price came after that divergence. We've still got more just building and building and building. All right, I was going to make fun of Litecoin a lot. Maybe you buy it if it breaks this line because it gives you some confirmation. I don't know. Locally, you could draw a line from here to here. Maybe if you want to like get a little scalpy type thing going on there. Could be bottoming. Volume is increasing here on this daily. Not much. Hey, this is like watching a show where the guy's got the little like angel on one corner shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder and yelling at himself. Except for that, I don't have either of those, so I just look and sound like a crazy person. Yeah, I mean, kind of right. I'm not saying that Litecoin is trash. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it looks like trash on that chart, but that could be reversing. Maybe buying Litecoin. I don't know. VET. Everyone wants me to ask about VET. We were down here and I said, look for it to break 145. It did. If I was trading VET right now, this has not been retested, so I would be looking for this. And yes, I know that hack someone mentioned about hitting Command S to save. It's my instinct to click the thingy up there. So like maybe you're looking at this, right? And then there's more resistance here than that. You got this whole area. Even this area, maybe 158, but we're above that. Oh, that's cute. That is cute. 159 could be another little entry here into that sort of thing. I don't know what you guys are into, but I could see this being a line you would consider. But I kind of like it still down. If you get it down here, I think that's a better entry. Otherwise, elevator straight to 197. I mean, this is really bullish. You know, it's just higher highs and higher lows. Never made a lower low. So I would be looking for it to put in a higher low in this area. That would be sweet. Catch it. So I would be looking, you know. So let's talk about how you would trade this. Because people will be yelling at me like, you said 145, it only went to 147. If it was me, I would take, you know, what's the size of my position that I want? And I would maybe put like 25% of my orders at 150, 25% at 147, 25% at 145, and 25% at 142. And I might not fill my whole order, but I wouldn't also get front run, and I would at least fill some if, you know, price drops down to here and bounces, as always happens. And I would probably be at this point, I'd probably be putting my stops, you know, 122, 123, somewhere below this line, this area. I don't want to be down there. That's how I would do it. And then I would scale, you know, I would put 25% of my sell orders here, 50% here, and let 25% ride, something like that. That's what I would do. Everybody's asking me about KIN. Okay, well, first we got the KIN ETH chart, which goes back way further. This is the weekly. I bought this in 2018 sometime with the promise of becoming a gajillionaire. It wasn't on an exchange. It was on Bancor. So it's like a swap. I didn't buy that much. It went so far down. I never bothered to think about it or exit it. Yeah, it was way down. They got sued by the SEC, but then they didn't, you know, it kind of worked out and whatever. I looked recently and I'm up like 9x. I held it for years. It was worth nothing. It was worth nothing. Holders, man, I'm telling you that it works. It works. I still have a bag of this. I'm still not going to exit it because I just don't care. It's a general indifference to, I've held it this long. I mean, it doesn't make me a millionaire at this point, million dollar position, you know, but, yeah, this is clearly, if you zoom into the daily, you want to stay above 1997. You could put a line here. I like the weekly kind of actually, because this is a nice rounding bottom, right? So this shouldn't even handle. It should just keep going up. If you're looking at it on the weekly, you have a gaping hole up to like here. So it should have 2x from here still, I would say, especially if it, you know, breaks through this area. This is going to be, this whole area it's in right now should be pretty strong resistance. From there down to there. Because you got this high here and this low here. So I want to see it flip. So if you're trading this now, since you're all asking, Good. This is against Ethereum, by the way. So then you're going up here. I looked for a USD chart and I only found this brand new one on FTX. So I don't know. I don't even know if you count this wick, but maybe there, maybe here. But it looks real bullish. We have a lot of charts that look like that, where they enter, they drop, they round out, and they fly. I think Eternity is, no, that's not one of them. Kylan did that. Right? Kin just looks really bullish, right? And I was bullish on it, like I was investing fundamentals and the Kin kick ecosystem. Kin, future of money and finance, and also some other things. But I still got a bag. I'm way up. Took a couple years. So yeah, I think Kin just kind of still looks good, but you really want to break above that if you're looking at the ETH pair. Uni. Let's look at the USDT pair because I shared this last week. Look at that inverse head and shoulders. Boom. But yeah, this looks juicy. Juice. I would say now you want to break above 34,9277, and then this is full price discovery. But this is basically like cup and handling here. Making a cup, maybe it comes down here at resistance, and boom. Nice though, broke that. That was a trade last week, so I'm not even going to dig deeper into that. Looks really good. You want it above 34.9277 because, well, actually price discovery technically is here now, 35.2. Although I still think you need to flip that. And it looks good on the Bitcoin pair, holding support and going. Uni, man, how can you like be bearish on things like Uni and Sushi and 1 inch? 1 inch. But it's breaking out. But like any platform that's actually being used and the token has utility, it seems pretty good. Seems like a good bet. Look, I'm trying to save it. Hitting the save buttons. Someone asked for Solana before the stream. Looks really good. It's breaking out. Would love to see it retest here. I don't know that it will, but I would love to see it do one of these, buy it here, and then head up. If you didn't already buy it here, I don't know if it'll retest this line. It looks like a little guy with little feet. He only has 3 fingers, though, because he's got a birth defect. But he's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy. I would say Solana just looks great. You know, you could pull here, you know, look for a bounce in this area because this is where it exited from. So maybe you get that. But, you know, that's a breakout. That's a clean breakout after a huge move up and a consolidation. So we can pull a target. Let's even say that this is the flagpole. You could make an argument for this being the flagpole, by the way. But maybe before being conservative, we pull it from here. Right, and that puts you up here. 0.0464, and that puts you into price discovery. So I think, yeah. So with that in mind, I think it's fair to give this as the better flagpole. As nuts as it seems. So that takes us up to 0.5, it's double, 2x. And then you're in price discovery and moon ball. All the way up. Soul's all the way up. Orn is also all the way up. I see why everybody's asking me about this. I don't usually use that wick, but it made sense here. This is what you want to do on Orn. You want to buy there. If you get the chance. Might not, but this is going into price discovery. So good luck. Buy the dip. You know, you have a new kind of area here. If you are, you know, want to get in and it drops down to there after closing, head up that way. That looks really good. Future of cryptocurrencies and finance and spaceships. I don't know, whatever. Everybody keeps asking about YFL. It's so painful, but it broke out and is kind of retesting this as support. That's not a good candle, honestly. Evening star a bit, but if you're really dying to trade this, I'm in it. If it goes to zero, that's my stop loss because Uniswap and stuff. But this is a entry you would look for. Retest of that as support, and we've been watching this literally from like here. $600. It's not ideal. I don't love it. But I know like so many people ask me. This is technically an area you would be interested in entering. Okay, now we're going to get into more obscure stuff where I have to chart it on Dex tools and it looks terrible. And they're the wrong colors and all that. Okay, I'm back. Going down here. Chain Guardian, CGG, I've got that right up here. Got it here. So Eternity has been one of the best trades ever for our newsletter and stuff. God, I don't even know what multiple points we entered it, but at this point, like it seems like a dip buying coin and you got a dip right there. Is this even correct though? Let's see. Sometimes these charts don't update, so I want to make sure. No, it's a little lower right now. I'm all the way up. If you can get it at 34 on a dip here, I would buy that. I'll buy that. But like lots of volume. And this candle is shaping up to be bigger than most. But like this is just a bullish chart, right? Higher highs and higher lows, just all the way up. I would want to buy a dip on this, but you might have just gotten it. I mean, that got to $35. I think this will continue up. I do. I think so. But I wanted to use, like, we were talking about the rounding bottom before, and this is the kind of pattern that I'm generally looking for on these new coins is like, now this could be called a cup and handle because it had this, but do we really count that? I don't know. But all these rounding out coins, look, you don't even need to know what they are. This is the pattern. This is what happens with all these new coins, right? They just round out. I don't even know why that's there. So yeah, Kylan had a huge move round. I wouldn't call this a cup and handle anymore because it's retraced so far. But, just pull a line. If it breaks that, this should be heading back up. But this is very bullish price action. The problem is you don't want your cup and handle to retrace more than 50% of it-ish. And this is past that, right? Be like 144-ish, something like that. So that's not ideal, but I still think that this looks like consolidation after a move up and will likely break up. That is Kylan, K-Y-L. Kylan. Here's one I love, Unido, which I put in the newsletter today because this is an example of it, right? Rounding bottom and finally breaking. So here, above 88 cents, this looks amazing, right? And above here, $1.06. I don't count this. This is bots. So this is basically price discovery if they can get above $1.068. But this looks bullish, rounding bottom and heading up out of consolidation. That's what we're looking for. Come back to the chat real quick because I don't know what is happening here. Just a bunch of people asking for coins. Kind of your guys' thing. What should I do to start investing with no experience? I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really tell you that. But that's a question you can't even ask someone, to be honest, because it totally depends on you. Investing is different for every single person. It depends on their personal situation, their financial situation. Are you in debt? If you're in debt, you don't start in investing. You pay off your debt. Like if you asked me that question and said you had $20,000 in credit card debt, paying 22% APR on it, I would say pay off your credit card and then worry about investing. If you said I'm completely debt free and I have a little money, I'd say, buy some index funds and buy some Bitcoin and dollar cost average into both and don't overthink it. If you said, I've already got an investment portfolio, what should I be looking at? Maybe you take a few more risks and whatever, but you can't just, unfortunately, you can't ask a blanket question like that because it's completely specific to your situation. Here's another one, right? Where would you put 500 pounds in to invest right now? I don't know. Depends. I know what I would do. I would buy some Bitcoin because my portfolio is solid. I'm good, but I don't know, scrolling through here. I have not looked at YFI in so long and nobody's even asked me about it. Crazy. This is really funny. If I owned an ice cream shop, I would name it Bitcream and the tagline would be buy our dips. That's just smart. That's just smart. All right, let's go look. So yeah, Unido I love here. APY swap. I pulled this because it's kind of doing the same thing. And I like it because like it did this and then it leveled up, right? Like if you consider this, even this doesn't matter, as the kind of middle of it, it's gotten above that, right? So it kind of did it here and now it's leveling up and rounding out again. I would say that I would want to see candles closing above this line particularly. I don't like that. So either you buy it down here or up here, it's kind of floating in no man's land. But I just pulled a bunch of these brand new coins that have only been trading for, a few days or weeks and take a look at them. I can tell you, here's this rounding pattern again. I think this is going to boom. This is public mint. Rounding here. This has a cup and handle vibe. Faux show. Right? Cup, handle. By the way, I'm not talking about this as the cup and handle. I'm talking because you can't have a cup and handle at the bottom. I'm talking about this is your move, this is your cup, and this is your handle. In which case, I know it's hyper local, but you're looking for a break of this for a break of the handle. But like this looks really good. I like this here. I'd buy some of that. If you get a retest of that area, but you already did, it'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, either way, this is, some sort of bullish consolidation after a move up. It should continue heading up. Another one. This one, I don't know. This one looks more like it's funny. When I pulled this, these platforms are such trash. When I pulled this line, originally these candles were below it. Can't tell you why they've now moved above it, but it doesn't really matter. But I was thinking, this is a nice ascending triangle, right? You kind of got all this happening. Doesn't really matter where, you just have higher lows, flat top, here, here, here. This doesn't bother me, but I would take either a bounce off that or a clean break above that. But yet again, this kind of, you have this drop on the bots and then this slowly, not rounding as much, but pushing up, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows till it breaks. Somebody asked me about Chain Guardians. Beautiful chart. This is cup and handling potentially. But either way, look at all these rounding patterns on all of these. Very bullish. Very bullish. Also, Chain Guardians, I think, first of all, I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but it's awesome. I keep tweeting them and asking them to make a wolf character for me, but it's an incredible gaming NFT platform. You can basically mine for free as part of the game and you get rewards, but it's really at the crossroads between gaming and NFTs, and the game just looks so super cool and fun, and the Chain Guardians, it's just awesome. It definitely like appeals to the kid in me, but also to my sort of crypto sensibilities. And I think they launched player versus player today. And so maybe we'll see a reaction to that in the chart. But, once again, these are just going to keep showing up and they look really good. So maybe, above this line or something. But, I think that this looks nice, that it had this big move and is rounding away from it. So maybe we'll, it'll come up here and do something like this and head up. Maybe it'll just go straight up. I don't know. But I think this project is so cool. And the chart looks good. So when the two line up, that's pretty awesome. Coming back to the chat for a second. Pulse has been kind of sideways. Haven't even looked at the chart. Where would you invest 100K aside from crypto or stocks? Depends on where you live, but like I would say land, particularly farmland, if you can get your hands on it. Like where I live in Florida, it also depends on like where you are, your local laws. Where I live in Florida, we get an agricultural exemption if you basically just do a few small things. Like you can, if you put a couple animals on the land, if you plant hay, we have hay on our land. If you plant pine trees, you basically are exempt from property taxes. Like you pay a couple $100s in property taxes on something that would be tens of thousands of dollars. So it's a really good investment here in Florida to buy land if you just kind of put some animals on it or do something even marginally agricultural with it. That might not be the case where you are, and the property taxes might make it prohibitive. So it really depends. But I would say at this point, if you have a stock and crypto portfolio that you're comfortable with, that land is probably the next wise investment because it is scarce and it is finite. And when they come for you, you can hide on your land. Right? Right. This is on YouTube as well, /Scott Melker. DXY getting clobbered. Let's look, because that's what DXY does. It sucks. And I keep telling you guys the dollar is not bullish, but nobody's listening. Why does nobody listen when I hate on the dollar? Dollar milkshake, bro. It's going to go to 9 billion. That's not really getting clobbered, but it is still at resistance. But like, if you just look at the monthly dollar chart, it looks like a steaming butthole. It's just bad. Bad. Crap coin. Shit coin. Shit coin. Getting rejected once again in resistance. I think it's coming down, but what do I know? It is rounding. Maybe it goes up. I don't think so. I don't think that printing 1.9 trillion of something should help its value go up. Call me crazy. I just don't think so. But yeah, if the dollar, continues to go down, we should see everything else continue to go up. Kind of how it works. I love seeing the dollar get clobbered. All of Florida will not be underwater in 50 years. South Florida and coastal Florida, maybe. I live in the middle of Florida, and maybe, just maybe, my agricultural land will also be beachfront. So stop being so negative and try to be a positive person. Your land is really theirs. You know that. No, I disagree. But thank you. If your land that you own is actually someone else's, then what can you own? Nothing? I don't know. I don't agree. I think that's but I respect your opinion. I just think that's a stretch. I know 1 million people are asking for Luna. I'm gonna look. I mean, it's up. It went up. Keeps going up. What is there to look at? It's up. Good luck timing the top. I can't do it. Maybe you can. Taxes. Yeah, but I just told you basically paid no taxes here. Florida doesn't have state taxes in general. And we also basically don't pay taxes on land if you just throw some farm stuff on it. Gonna mute you guys for 1 second. See, Ian, you got to look at the bright side. I might end up with waterfront land. It's cool. I already looked at a bunch of these coins that you guys are asking for. Do you think Florida real estate is overvalued, especially single family homes? It depends on where you are. Real estate is such a hyper local thing and such a hyper local market. I would say that in Miami, it might be a little overvalued right now. I don't know, especially if you do end up in a floodplain. I mean, we watched a river go down our street and basically around our house during the last major hurricane when we still lived in Miami, and then said, maybe we'll live somewhere that we're not going to need a boat in our living room. But yeah, I think that it depends on the market. I think there are still a lot of good deals for real estate everywhere. And at the end of the day, real estate is going to increase in value depending on how long you hold it. So even if you unfortunately tick the top for, a 5 or 10 year cycle, in 40 years, that land should be worth a whole lot more. But yeah, I think South Florida is starting to push, getting a little bubbly again. Getting a little bubbly for sure. Like eGold, I already did. A million of you are asking for Link, so let me look at that. Link has been a stable coin last I checked. So God, still I keep, and this computer just pulls up my wrong charts every time. I don't know. Looks like shit. Doesn't look like anything. It's doing nothing. But it is fighting for the lows on this range, which was the same place we were at last time. I mean, you could draw a local line here. Maybe it's breaking out. Probably more honest to draw it like this. I mean, last time we looked at this, it was in the same spot. I don't even remember when it was last week. It was like here. I don't know. Boring. The reality is it's boring. Oh, I think this is really cool. That's why I had this pulled. Pokemon has not launched today. They're just announcing their IDO. It's my friends at Moonrock and Morningstar, guys I've worked with for a really long time. I'm going to be investing in this for sure, given the opportunity. But it's basically Pokemon meets crypto and NFTs. I don't see how that could possibly do badly. I actually mentioned this on a show last week too. I just think it's really awesome and should be on your guys' radar. Like, obviously, do your own research, do your own diligence, but it's cool because not only do you get the like hype of the packs with Pokemon booster packs and all that stuff and opening them, but it's also the coin itself is deflationary. So every time a pack is opened, I believe coins are burned. So it has reducing supply with all the NFT hype, which I think is super sweet. That's why I had that opening. I am planning to have Steve Ehrlich on my podcast again. He's one of my favorite guests. I talk to that guy like a few times a week. He's awesome. I also want to look at the Sirius chart. This is not a crypto, but the stock, because I had posted it here in January, the day before this. This is a weekly chart. And I said, yeah, target $9, whatever. And it did this and went all the way down in the same day, like a shitcoin. This was in the Wall Street Bets short squeeze phase. But I just want to note that here on the weekly chart, I like SiriusXM as a company fundamentally anyways, but this was what I had drawn, and we did get that bounce here off support, and now it's flipping the 200 MA on the weekly, and you can see today's action is really nice from $6 up to $6.30, like a 5% move almost, but the real trade is above here. I just want to give you guys one stock trade, just one stonk. A million people keep asking me about Spice, sci-fi, finance. What they're doing is actually really cool with their indexes. They've been performing exceptionally well, and this is their governance token. I mean, to be fully transparent, I bought some of this down here just because I think that we'll see it bounce again. The chart does not look spectacular after all of this. It's just one of those things I want to have some exposure to, and I view it as really, really cheap. I'd really like to see it above $1.04 here, above this line in here, but it's just a coin that I'm very interested in. So I actually bought some. And when I buy stuff, I like to share it with you guys. Wasn't because of a chart. I just think that the price is down and we should see it move. Cool, huh? Uni just broke all-time high, like while we were sitting here, because I just had that chart up. Let's see. Let's see if it did. It did. Look at that. Look at that. Trading genius. Trade gods. Trade gods. That is awesome. How about VGX? You can't chart VGX, unfortunately. You can chart BQX on Binance, but it's whatever. So going through the chat. Going through the chat. That's totally arbitrary, man. I can't tell you where a good place to buy. If you're worried about hurricanes, you just don't buy on the beach. Anywhere a few miles inland and you are good all the way to the middle. Actually, I already looked at that. Long-term target for VGX is really hard because it's done thousands of percent like in the last few months. I don't know. I think it'll go up. I think it will continue to go up. Can I look at BQX? Sure. I haven't looked at it for a long time. BQX. I feel like I need like a co-host that I talk too much. Kind of sick of hearing myself talk, to be honest. Yeah, there's a bullish divergence here with RSI on the daily on Voyager. I don't need the MACD. And it's finding support at a flat Kuma bottom. This should head up. I like this a lot here. Like a lot. Green cloud. Finding support at the bottom. That was a reversal candle. And this is a potential bullish divergence if it closes like that. I think I would go, personally, I might go buy some Voyager when we're done. I own enough, but hey, whatever. Just clicking through these charts. Nothing much has changed. Now it's just me and you guys. No more charts. So anybody want to ask me something? Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, I missed you terribly, Brent. I cried myself to sleep last night, actually, because I was thinking, I don't even know if Brent's going to show up on Monday. I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I cry a lot. My brackets are fine. I did a lot of them. I didn't follow, but I definitely had to like put the Gators winning a few of them, and then they played Oral Roberts last night, and I was like, Oral Roberts, the evangelical school, got excited, and they lost to Oral Roberts, who did beat Ohio State, in fairness, but kind of exploded my brackets. Tips on how to get more advanced in crypto trading. Study. I mean, start watching videos online. There's a million free videos on trading. If you want to do something slightly more advanced, howtotradetowin.com. It's in the description. That's my mentor, Chris. He'll teach you how to trade. What is the meaning of green clouds? That one chart happened to have the Ichimoku cloud on it. So literally it was the green Ichimoku cloud. It's an indicator. Personal top 5 coins to watch. That's hard. I love Elrond, eGold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, obviously. Eternity's been crazy. Right now I'm watching Unido, which I posted. Chain Guardians, I like those. I bought Spice, so I like that. But yeah, I don't know. Any more Trade Gods interviews coming? Yeah, we're working on getting John Bollinger right now. That like the Trade God show is a lot of work and it's a labor of love. There's really nothing in it for me. Actually, that's true of YouTube. I know I have Femex as a sponsor, but that's because they sponsor my newsletter. They do not pay to be on YouTube. I do it because it's nice. I literally do all this YouTube, and I actually spend tons of money on YouTube for a producer to do those videos and stuff for me just because I like it. And I have enough money. Oh, sure, if I get some more money from it, that would be great. But I'm just doing YouTube because I love it. And I always get, it's so funny when you get the criticism. It's like, dude, if you were a good trader, bro, like if you were a good trader, you wouldn't need other money. Why would you ever want to do things for money that are not trading? Well, first, I'm over trading. Second, trading's great until it's not, and then you become a poor person and have no other form of income. And third, I'm rich enough. I'm going to do the shit I like, and I love this. This is fun. I'm having a good time right now. And you know what? If I don't want to show up on one Monday and do a live stream, I'm just not going to show up. Sorry, but like I'm doing this because I like doing it. And so for me, it's cool, and I'll do it until I don't want to do it anymore, but I think that it's very important for any of you who want to be traders, very important that you find other streams of income that are reliable, because you're probably not going to make it as a trader. And even when you do make it, you might not make it next month. It's just really, really, really hard. YouTubing is expensive. How do I have a good time with you? I don't know. I like this. I like charting, and I have ADD, so I like talking. And if I'm charting and talking to myself, it's just weird. So at least I get to chart and talk to theoretical people whose words are coming across on the internet. Emmy does not trade. Should not trade. Hopefully she will not trade husbands. Love her. She's great. She's great. I mean, I want to help people, of course. So I talked about my mentor, Chris. I've told this story before, so forgive me if I'm boring you. But when I found him on Twitter in like 2016, and I was like, wow, this guy's just awesome. And everybody else is posting such trash. And so I convinced, like I said to him, like, please do a course, please start a group. do those things because there needs to be like good information. And as I learned and I really felt like I had something to contribute, I just wanted to give good information back as well because there's so much bad information. So yes, it makes me feel good to know that I'm helping people. I love good messages, but like, listen, I also like, there's people who like look at the charts and they're like, take a trade and they're like, you were wrong. You made me poor. I hate you. You're responsible for your own financial decisions. But like, it goes both ways, you know? HODL technique is the technique. People should not trade unless it's a small percentage of your capital. HODLers have beat traders since the beginning of hodling time. HODLing is great. I HODL my Bitcoin and I do not want to give it up. Look, I've subscribed for 3 months and without doing much actively, I feel like I've learned a lot from your newsletter. That's what I like. That's what I want to hear. Thank you for that. I don't really have many thoughts on Monero. It's kind of tough because there's been some like regulatory sort of threats towards privacy coins, and Bittrex sort of got rid of privacy coins. So I don't really know what the future of that is, to be quite honest. I do not produce music or DJ anymore. I did produce the music that is the intro of this live stream and all my podcasts and stuff. I will get back into it eventually when I feel the passion for it. I'm just kind of on like a really long extended break. Just got over it, you know, so it happens. Cold wallet options. There's quite a few. So I'm really, really excited about the Engrave. I wish I had one already because I was like, I bought that in the Kickstarter many, many months ago, but I think that that will be amazing. The SafePal is really cool, really awesome. I mean, I like Ledgers as a wallet. I just don't like that they got all of our information hacked. But personally, I use multi-sig with Casa, which means that I basically have 5 wallets and I need 3 of them to sign, and they're geographically dispersed at different safety deposit box and safes around the country so that I can't even access my Bitcoin. So like, sadly, I get enough threats and wild shit happening that I have to make it so I can't access my own coins, which is sad. It's really sad. Pitiful. Like now when we travel, we generally have to think about security. Sadly, really sucks. Just because I like have a lot of followers on Twitter and some people don't like me. I mean, there's some great books, some classics, but I think at this point, like I'm just a visual learner, so I think I would do much better with videos personally. Who out of your peers do you respect most on crypto Twitter and why? That's a great question. There's a lot. There's a lot. I don't think I could pick one. Chris, of course, who I just talked about. I love Karush, AK. I think he's the nicest guy in the world, who's genuinely trying to help people. I mean, there's so many. I love Peter Brandt. You guys, I know people try to dunk on him and stuff, but these guys are legends. You know what I mean? There's so many people who are great traders, I'm sure. Okay, I will say this. There's so many people who are great analysts on Twitter. I don't know if they're great traders. I assume they are, but you know, we can't see most of their transactions and stuff. But I think that there's a lot of great information. Fame has a price like anything else, I guess, but I don't think I'm that famous, and it's just annoying. Shardy B is amazing. I love her. She's a beast. I want to have her on. She's a Gator too. She went to the University of Florida, I believe. But she's not doxxed. So yeah, those are 1200s, and I bought that. I have 6 of them, but that set I bought in 1997, and they're still perfect. Never had to do anything to them. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, both of these guys are great. I had Jack on Trade Gods. You know that I have a lot of respect for him. I didn't actually go to UF. I grew up in Gainesville. I went to the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. So I studied nothing at UF. I failed at going to UF. Looking for some more, but I'm going to have to. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. Guys, it's been real. I love you guys so much that I just want to live stream more often sometimes. Gonna serenade you with my sweet voice. That basketball is signed by the 2007 Florida Gator National Championship basketball team in its entirety. Billy Donovan, Al Horford, Joakim Noah, Corey Brewer, all those dudes. I will sing as much as I want to sing. Jujas. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm going to sing at you, and you're going to take it. I'm going to sing, and you're going to take it. So, guys, been real. Sign up for the newsletter or fucking don't. Whatever. Who cares? See you later. Peace.